Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second episode of the Hotdog Hour. I am your host, Alex Labuti, and I wanted to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to everyone who has had something very nice to say to me about the show. The feedback has been, in a word, exquisite. And it means a lot to me. However, I must preface something because I have everyone reaching out to me. My parents, my friends, I have ex-girlfriends reaching out. I have the president reaching out. And they all keep saying the same thing. They keep saying they're so proud of me. They're so proud. They're so proud. They're so impressed with my determination, my tenacity, my will to succeed. And I'm here to tell you to stop, okay? Listen up, folks. I didn't get this show because of talent, because of merit, certainly not because of accolades. No, I got this show because I can follow up. You understand? I've worked in corporate America. I know how to follow up. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that and that alone is why I have a show. Not because of anything else I did in my life, all right? Certainly not because of what I did before this. No, it's because I follow up. It's because I follow up. It's because I try. Not even that hard. I try a little. I'm tired. I'm like, yeah, I'll follow up. That's it. That's all it takes. You don't have to be great. You have to be there. And that's what I want to explore today. I'm very excited to jump into it with you, and I hope that by the end of it, you'll watch episode 3. So if you have something nice to say, keep it to yourself. Let's get started. I have two very smart idiots with me today. To my right, this man is a cowboy. This man went out west when everyone was afraid. This man went to the southern frontier when everyone was afraid. And this man gets on stage and he speaks his mind when everyone is afraid. He's also a good friend of mine, Sean Reilly.
Thank you so much, Alex. I'm excited to be here.
Sean Reilly, everyone. To my left. People. Oh, boy. You ever heard of a story of that dude? You know that fucking dude? This man wheels, he deals, he rhymes. I don't think he commits crimes. He might. He's very funny. Isaac Knox.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yes. No crimes that I've been caught for yet. So.
Yes, no crimes that he's been caught for. And
No
that's what's
snitching.
important, guys. I always say this to people.
Yeah.
It's not about the life you live. It's about the life that's caught. It's
Yeah.
about what's captured by the public and on police records.
Nothing's illegal until you're caught.
Right. See, and that's what people don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, you could kill someone.
Yeah.
And that was it. I mean, if you didn't make a big hullabaloo about it, it was fine.
That's actually
true.
why Sean was going west when everyone else was afraid.
That's why.
It's, when you're describing, it seems like we're a very scared country. You're describing,
Yeah.
like going west and everyone's scared, and I'm going south, everyone is scared. What do you hate so much about America, Alex?
What do I hate about it?
That you think our citizenry are afraid?
Let me
Yeah.
just preface it with this,
I
okay?
think we're afraid of homicidal Sean, if I'm
I
not
think
if I'm
we're
not mistaken.
afraid
Are people
of-
afraid just of being around me? Is that it?
I think
Yeah.
people are impressed by your will.
I appreciate that. You know, I do try very hard, which I
You
know
do.
is the theme of today's episode. I think I try harder than I definitely feel like I try harder than I'm talented.
Interesting.
Like my
Yeah.
try level is at like 1,000,
Right.
and my talent level is at 1,
You know, it's funny.
and that's not rewarded.
And he's humble.
And
And he's humble. Look at that.
And he's humble.
He's a humble son of a bitch.
Yeah.
How about you guys? What are you guys? You're like your talent level.
I feel
and
that
your,
way.
and
I
your
don't. I
work-
just want to. I know I don't know you well, but I do want to give you this compliment. You don't look like you're trying hard.
Really?
Yeah, you really look like you don't give a shit at all. I mean, you
know-
look like you are a fly by the seat of your fucking
Yeah.
pants kind of gal.
You know, this is Dior. So is
So he
Dior a
is
clothing
trying.
brand?
Is it?
I think it's
Or do they do
fragrance.
perfume? Fuck.
I don't
But
know.
that, no, well, people, he has a Dior shirt.
Okay.
What do you have?
But see, it makes sense to me because I'm in that tax bracket where if I saw what they price their cologne at, I'd be like, "What is this? Clothes?"
You look at that, you're like, this has to be a jacket. No way, this is just liquid.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
count. You like see a dollar price, and you're like, I could buy 10 suit jackets at that.
Yeah, this comes with a shoe pairing, right?
No, I think it's interesting though, like what you said, because I feel that way a lot. I have come. I mean, look, I hate myself more than the average person, but I've come to realize.
I hate myself more.
You hate yourself more? We'll have a competition after this, after our kissing fight. So,
Just gonna one up you.
I,
On it.
I feel like, is that just kind of a thing that any sort of creatively inclined person would feel? Like, I feel like oftentimes, like, I'm like the imposter, or like I'm the, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
do you guys ever go on like a show or something and you see a lineup and you're like, and Alex Labuti? Like, what? Why am I on here? Like, you're like, what the fuck? And then like you get in your head and then you might be like, oh my, like, I'm just curious
know,
if that happens to you guys.
I feel like there's a positive reverse way to see it, even while keeping imposter syndrome, saying even if you are like, I'm a loser, I don't deserve any of this, and I'm on these things. Imagine how much you're inspiring people that they're like, if that loser does, I think I can do this. I think I can make it. You see Labuti's working?
Right, Labuti is on.
Labuti's working? Oh my gosh, I think I'm built for this. Like,
Dude, and that's
yeah.
kind of why I started, because like I always liked comedy, and then you move somewhere like New York or somewhere where like it's more accessible, and then you're like, maybe I'll go to an open mic, and then you go and you're like, who the fuck is going up at like, you're like, I can at least go up. Like, you
yeah.
know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like that was my, like I never was like, maybe I could do it. I'm still like, I don't know if I can do it. But,
Yeah.
but like I remember being like, okay, so I can at least sign up.
I mean, I remember being very intimidated by New York City, and it's still got the best of the best here, but it's also got the most of everything else. It's got the most.
That's right.
It's like you have people that are starting their comedy journey here, which means that you really do have beginners that don't know what they're. And there's something so comforting about that. That's like, why did I feel like I had to be my best before arriving here? And it's like there is something good about wanting to be your, but it's also like you're trying to be your best to arrive in a place where like 5% are at their best.
That's right. And I mean, just to like abstract that a little bit, like I used to work in finance,
Okay.
and like I would see, it's a very competitive, just like comedy, very
Yeah.
competitive,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
vicious, and like I would see
Passionate.
people, I would see my classmates, you know, that are also trying to get these coveted jobs on Wall Street,
Mm-hmm.
right behind us.
Yeah.
They're working right now.
Yeah.
We're hanging out with
and,
our folk.
you know, we're having fun. They're hanging out, but like I
Mhm.
would see my classmates, and they would, you know, they'd be doing 4 or 5 lines of Adderall every night, and I'd be like, I can do that. You know, like I can do 7. I can do 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
love
like
it.
4?
you know, like
Yeah.
like Ling Min is doing 5 lines of Adderall. You know, doing like finance, accounting 102. Like I can
Stop.
do 7 lines of a.
I don't get out of bed
Adderall.
for less than 8. I mean,
Yeah.
And I'm like I can bury this
Your
guy. Like
inspiration.
I wasn't even studying finance, and I buried this guy.
Yeah.
He was an Asian guy too.
Oh wow.
wow. So that's really.
Wow.
So I
So
mean,
it was a
that's
hate
good with
crime.
numbers.
So you buried an immigrant.
All right. So crime
In-
number 1.
Yeah, everybody,
docket.
everybody, home,
Metaphorically, it was a-
everybody, Google the history of Wall Street and why it's called that, and then listen to what he just said again.
Why is it called Wall Street?
So
Oh,
it's
boy.
literally when
Is
the
it about
Well,
Asian
no, well,
people?
the
What do you
people
think? It's the
who-
Great Wall of China. No.
Well, the people who were native to this island, if I have the history right, were like pushed to the southern tip of the island island, and there was an actual wall built as a lot of the like European colonization happened, and they were like, yeah, if you're not one of us, you stay south of this wall, and now it's like the literal financial center of the world.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That is
so when
I'm
did it
sharing
become
information that I was taught like 5 days ago.
Wow.
So I totally believe
in
that,
Bushwick?
and we have a laptop.
Probably.
Yeah.
I have a different telling of history.
What part of Bed-Stuy was? Let's
Yeah.
hear it. I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah. See if I'm.
No,
even
no,
close.
it's no, but I just wanted to like, and again, like it's everyone that works in that industry is evil. I may have to go back to that industry. I may have to go back. and make
Wall
some
Street
money.
got its name from a literal physical wall built in New York when the town was still a Dutch colony.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Governor, oh my God, our boy Peter Stuyvesant, Stuytown, called for a 10-foot wall to be built, protecting the lower part of the peninsula from Native Americans.
Wow. So it was apartheid.
Yeah.
It was
So
an
it was-
apartheid wall. And
Yeah.
when did it become a street that
Yeah, but listen.
accepts everyone?
Have you? Well, let's not get carried
Never.
away.
Not yet.
Have you seen Goldman Sachs? It's not accepting
And if
everyone.
you're following, Native Americans were called Indians because Christopher Columbus thought that he was in India, and India is a part of Asia, and he buried an Asian guy in Fidei.
Wow, that was a bar.
That was a fucking bar. No, so
Oh, gosh, I'm
here's
an idiot.
That
no,
was great.
That's interesting though. So I think that actually ties in very well to what we're talking about right now, because it's like
God, I hope not.
clearly
He goes, Asians.
clearly when they were when New York was a Dutch colony, right?
Mhm.
Nobody ever in that time was like, this is going to be New York City, right? Like, as in, nobody in the Dutch colony, sure, they had plans for growth, but nobody was like, yo, we're going to have Times Square. We're going to have, like, we're going to have Little Italy, right? Like, no one knew. So what did they do? They simply tried, right?
I do
guys?
love the inspirational turn. And
Here's what I'm
you're
thinking.
also right though. You're also right because it was and I like where you're going. Something for all of the sins of the history of America, it also became a destination for the go-getters from every nation. It became a melting pot because those
Right.
who wanted a better life, those that wanted to help build this new thing, and then and again, there's obviously the ugly parts, but there was a lot of very sincere, I'm the go-getter, I'm the one that's going to try, I'm the one that's going to make an effort, I'm going to cross this ocean to come here. And so now you have a place like New York City that's wildly multicultural, that's modern, progressive in every sense. I don't mean that politically, I just mean like always going to a new height.
We're always doing what's next or what's around the curve.
And there is something about like it's a destination for go-getters.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it comes from, just like you're saying, it came from some ugliness, and there's still, well, no, I'm saying obviously.
Let's hyperbolize that a little more. Some ugliness.
Yeah, some ugliness, right? Some not so nice things.
Look, there were very fine people
Maybe
on
listen,
both sides.
Listen, we were a little pushy.
Yeah, there was some. God,
Some
I was going to
ugly-
say mutual whoopsie daisies. This is gonna be
Listen,
the
listen.
last podcast I ever get to
Listen,
go
it's
on.
called compromise. No, but
Yeah.
listen, here's what I'm trying to say, actually.
Yeah.
We've come a long way. We
Mhm.
still have plenty of long way to go, right?
Mhm.
And it's all trying. What I'm trying to say is, I think part of growing up is realizing, like, I remember when I was younger and I realized, like, oh my God, dude, like, all these people that I look up to, like my parents, the president, like, whoever
Yeah.
these, your teacher, your whatever, the firefighters, whatever. It's all just people trying their best, right? Like, I think life is so amazing when you realize that we got to the moon because we were just trying our best.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of fucking crazy, where it's like, obviously people who work at NASA are smart as shit. Obviously,
Yeah.
people who work
Let's put a pin in that and come back to it.
yeah. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying, like, I just think it's amazing that it comes down to, like, that great saying where it's like, we're not that talented. We just try.
Well, I mean that goes.
Just try.
I mean, what I really liked about your opening piece about following up too, the great Alexander the Tenacious here, is that there really is something to going for it is a lot of times smarter and more virtuous than waiting till you feel qualified, because it's and it ties into sort of all the imposter syndrome, the following up stuff.
Right.
Like whatever you want to be, don't reject yourself from it. Let it reject you. Let it tell you not yet. Let it tell you work harder. Let it tell you got to do this. But like, don't reject yourself from the thing you want to be at. I don't care how crazy. I don't care if you want to play for the Yankees and that's you never will.
Right.
Like if you really want to play for the Yankees, reach out and try and let them tell you no. And the same goes for you getting this radio show. Is you followed up, you went for it, and there's a lot of comics that have. I mean, maybe comics that have been here longer or have credits that you would like to have that would love this radio show, and they didn't ask, and if they did ask, they didn't follow up, and you did, and now you have a radio show.
And that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah,
like
it's true.
it and obviously it's scaled up. But I think the amazing thing is I'm like, that's really all anything in life is. Anything in life is kind of just like, if you refuse to give up or if you just keep kind of trying again. I mean, that's what comics say. Half the shit when you talk to like, anytime I'm like on the road and I've talked to like a comic who's older than me, like they always go like, yeah, you got this. And you just got to keep showing up too. I mean, it's like, and it's like, you know, like how many times have you heard they're like, man, I work with people who were funnier than me and they stopped. And you're just like, nah, that can't be it. Like, but then you realize in other like facets of your life, like, oh my God.
Well, I've heard it said a different ways, like, you know, how much pain can you tolerate? You know,
interesting.
because that really is ultimate for long-term journeys where it's like you have a big dream. It's like, you know, how much pain can you tolerate?
Yeah,
dude. Listen,
it's like when you at 10 years in, a lot of people, if they're doing anything, whether it be comedy or like maybe you're like trying to work at a job in finance or whatever, like I don't know, professional athlete, it's just like
anything at 10
quit.
years is exhausting, right?
Right.
I mean,
and you look back and you're like, wow, I spent 10 years of my life doing this, and this is what I have to show
and now
for
what am I
it.
getting? Yeah.
And I think people don't understand that like there's an exponential curve with the investment, you know, where it's like on year 11, they could go vertical and everything goes right all of a sudden.
That's an investment. That's money talk right there. That's money
cash.
Talk. That's cash flow.
And so
that's
you just gotta wait. It's like that meme where it's like that guy is mining for diamonds.
Yes.
And the one guy keeps mining and he gets to the diamonds, and the one guy turns around.
Yes.
And doesn't get the diamonds.
Yep.
And that's life.
And he was right there.
He was right there.
He was so close.
But they quit, and like pussies quit.
Yeah.
Now I'm
lazy
curious.
quitters.
Lazy pieces of shit. If you're in the mines, you're a lazy fool. Okay, figure it out.
Both of those guys. See, the thing is, the guy that found the diamonds doesn't even keep the diamonds. He just found them for the CEO.
Just to know he could.
Yeah.
So what is the point we're trying to make here, guys? If you're in the mines right now,
he found the diamonds, and then he wrote a map that pirates have been following for years, Vikings have been following, conspiracy theorists.
If you're a pirate, Viking, miner, any of those kind of trades, guys, you need to start an LLC.
Yeah. Are you really into miners?
You need to. Yes, because here's the thing, guys. Pirates, that's an enterprise level game now. Okay, you got to go on the Evergreen, and you gotta. Listen, if you want to be, the days of Jack Sparrow are over. Okay, it's enterprise, it's LLC. Now listen, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna. I mean, my mind was just going towards modern piracy.
Modern,
forgive me, but you know, a lot of African nations have Somali pirates.
Careful.
That no, they try.
Why do I have to forgive you?
No. I'm saying it to
all of the Somali pirates watching.
You know, I want to be. I want to be culturally sensitive. You know, and so
I don't. No.
Yeah, if we've established that Alex got this radio show so that he would have a platform to say that
a platform for my hate.
To say that the horrors that birthed our nation were just like a big misunderstanding.
Guys, it was a big he said, she said. Listen, here's what I want to ask you now. You moved here from Austin.
That's right.
Did you have I'm curious of your hesitation, if you felt any coming here, in terms of skill level, in terms of, and you're an extremely talented person and you're very funny.
Stop it.
And but I'm saying your point of what we were saying, trying and feeling like an imposter. Did you, even though you are really good, you've opened for comics, you have a much more impressive career than I do, did you still feel some hesitation like coming here, going like, oh my God, it's New York, kind of like what you were saying? Like, I'm curious if you felt like that.
I haven't felt anything in 13 years, man.
You're like, when did I start comedy?
I felt whatever, like, no, but in all seriousness, yeah, there was a little bit of nervousness. I mean, I've always heard that, like, whatever, you take a leap and you do something and then it's hard,
It's hard.
You take a leap, it's a new situation, it's a new environment, and it's like you hear the horror stories about people that like kind of get trapped here and just kind of like look back and they think, oh God, what did I leave?
Right.
Well, I had the thing going and I fucked it up.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't ready or whatever. So like, yeah, that was in the back of my head, but like, I mean, dude, it's really, it's just, I mean, I'm happy that I have a level of delusion where I feel like I could do this.
Dude, and that's the key.
Depraved delusion.
The key is that
sickness,
balance.
Mental illness. It's like a sick mental. I really wish I didn't want it this much.
Dude, and you know what's so...
No, that...
I want to quit.
I sympathize with that so much. It's hilarious.
It's like you hate to say it, but it is such an asset to making it in a creative field, because there is what you want is the middle spot of audacity. You don't want to be delusional, but you also don't want to you don't want to
be so practical that you realize the odds of the success.
Yeah, you have to have the audacity to try and to follow up and all that, but you have to at some point cross that line of audacity, and a lot of people have crossed it into delusion, but it works out for them because they don't get off the ship, they don't quit, they keep asking for it, they say yes to more things, and we can feel how we want about individual people and choices with that, and whether we would do the same thing or how we'd sleep, but they're gonna probably reach their goals. Delusional people are more successful in the entertainment field than practical people.
That's right. And it's like, did you, it's like, were those actors assaulted, or did they say yes? Did they want it?
Right. I mean, how bad do you want the role? No, I think that's really cool what you're saying, seriously, because it's like, I always think this where like, the last few years especially, I've had a realization, I feel like, where I was like, I think that it's actually beyond the scope of even entertainment. I think that successful people are just the people who are crazy enough to believe that they can do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think of someone like, I think of all of the Kanye West inspirations, like a Walt Disney or like a Steve Jobs, where I'm like, can you imagine going somewhere like in 2000 and being like, so it's called the iPhone, it's going to be touch screen, there's no buttons. Like, you know what I mean?
I would
it's
kill
like,
that guy.
Right.
I would kill him at any age.
Right. I mean, he's wearing New Balances. I would kill him. But,
even after the cancer diagnosis, I'd still kill him.
It's a record show.
Remember when Apple came out with like the AirPods and everyone's like, that's fucking stupid. And now like it's like a requirement. I don't know. I know like 2 people with a wired earphone, and my thoughts and prayers go out to you.
Let the record show.
Let the record show.
I'm on my
it was a big misunderstanding, and we all have AirPods.
No, but I mean, yeah, there's quotes from like some of the biggest tech giants at the time of the iPhone that were just like certain that it would flop. So yeah,
it's so interesting, man. It's like, where does that come from?
Let's talk about the haters.
Talk about the fucking haters.
Literally,
one word for the haters.
I love my haters. You hate you should.
Nah, I heart my haters. I got socks that say it.
I think I'm driven by spite. I'm driven by hatred. I'm driven by, I want to prove you wrong.
Yeah.
I'm driven. My parents, and no one even hates me, I think. Like, I think like a lot of people support me. My parents support me, but
that's the worst when the parents support you trying to do comedy.
But I'm so driven by just pure spite. It's like, any, like, even like, because I have such an unrealistic expectation about where I should be versus where I am.
I think we all do.
And so it's like when I perceive that I've been rejected for something that I believe I earned or that I deserved years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm rejected for it even years later than I should have gotten it.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm like, it's like that then.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, it's like that then.
Oh, he wants smoke.
Oh, it's like that then.
Okay.
Dude,
I'll build my own shit and then I'll fire you.
Well, based on our first 20 minutes, I think that if you're fueled by hate, the response to this podcast episode is going to do wonders for you.
No, dude, that's very interesting. Because it's like, I know what you mean where I love.
It's not healthy, by the way. I'm not.
No.
It's not.
Oh
No,
yeah,
no, no,
yeah,
no. Let the record show none of us are healthy, physically or mental. Isaac's pretty physically healthy. He eats a thin.
Do you
think
run?
bar. He eats the think bar.
I've ran. No, I mean I play
He's run before.
I play basketball and I go to the gym, but I'm
That's
not
tight.
obsessive about either.
No, but what I'm saying is,
I run.
listen, all of our brains very damaged.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I feel the same way as you. Like, I really enjoy when I meet someone and, like, I'm pretty nice to everybody, mostly because I'm a pussy. But usually I'll be nice to someone when I meet them, and usually I'm too nice, and I think people think I'm like an idiot, an airhead. I'll be like, hi, how are you? But I really love when I'm talking to someone and I can tell that they think I'm like a jackass. Or they think that, like, I don't know something or I don't get, and I'm certainly not smart. But I do love when you talk to someone and then you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go on stage real quick. Let me just fucking, you know, and then you just fucking, and then you bomb. No, and then you, no, but it is really something. Is that just like a human nature thing? Because is that the same as like, you know how everybody?
It's trying. It's competition.
It's trying, and it's. I think people appreciate when someone trying finds success. Like, you know how like when the bad guy finally gets shot and everybody's like, fucking finally, like,
Yeah.
and you're like, technically, like, that's still negative, you know? Like, you're still like besting someone, but we're all happy about it because the guy's trying.
Dude, I'm so tired of this shit where it's like we're all running our own race. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm trying to win. No.
We're in a race, bitch. And I'm
Sean Reilly's calling everyone
Isn't that
out.
crazy.
I love this. I love this.
Is that not? I'm just being honest. Like, we're all running our own race, but like, you can't be running your own race and look to the left and look to the right and be like, it's just my race.
Yeah.
We're all running our own race in lanes right next to each other. That's what we're doing. And I'm not supposed to look over and see
Right,
where
like,
I'm at.
I mean, there is a limited number of clubs. There's a limited number of specials that get produced. There's a limited number of fans and supporters out there, of money for people to spend on merch. So you're not wrong.
I have a
but,
scarcity mindset. People have
Yeah.
rejected the scarcity.
A rising tide is bad.
People, they
A
go.
rising tide means dock your
Yeah.
fucking boat. Sean's out.
Have you heard of this thing where it's like there's competition at the bottom and collaboration at the top?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Where
that's
it's like
so
winners
interesting.
collaborate, losers elbow each other.
That's
And I don't know.
I feel like
I agree with that.
We're
to a
collaborating
degree.
right now. We're winning. So I don't know.
Absolutely. Well, I also think that there's as much as, you know, there's always stories that go around about people that have made it that aren't very nice to work with. I do think that for the most part, that a lot of people, when they know for certain that they've hit a level where they just have to be proud of themselves and happy, there does become, in my experience, where you start to see a security where they're going to be more giving in their compliments and their support because they're no longer threatened that their spot
They
is
know
gonna
they're
be
the man,
taken.
or they're
they
the-
know
yeah.
they've done it.
That's
I think,
bars.
I think that's part
That's
of it.
bars.
I think that's part of it. But also, like, I don't know. I think about this too. I think about how some of the most divisive, toxic places sometimes are open mics. But it's because the people that are viewing it all as competition and not being collaborative and not being open to change and development and are so selfish and divisive aren't getting booked. So their kingdom, their territory, their gate to keep is the open mics. So that idea of like at the
Interesting.
bottom it's competition, at the top it's collaboration. It's like, yeah, because the people who collaborate get to the top. The people
It's
that
interesting.
divide stay in the open mic circles.
And it kind of scales. Like, to your
Yeah.
point, I think you're right. It's like the people at the top collaborate, the people at the bottom elbow. And then I think that the key to getting out of it is like finding who you're going to be in the trench with.
Yeah.
Like, I'd argue that it's like, to
Yeah.
your point, like, yes, obviously we're not successful to the point where like we're able to give someone an opportunity or something, but it's like we're trying not to elbow, so it's like that middle ground. It's like you gotta, like, you almost need each other to climb out, and we have to all get on the same page. And it's like
Yeah.
through the competition you figure that out. I feel like through competition I realized, oh fuck, dude, I'm competing and comparing with other people, and then that's actually not helping me. So it's almost like I feel like the competition is to
Yeah.
compete with that feeling and being like, I need to compete with the feeling to compete, and then be like, I'm doing my own thing to run my own race.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It's you first.
Well, you know that thing where it's like, I'm all about quotes today.
Yeah.
I want
bring
you.
it.
I want you to eat, just not at my table. Like, you know that quote?
Shit, Sean Reilly.
I don't.
Man, bro, you love the haters,
Sean
bro.
Riley,
Oh my
everybody.
God.
Sean Riley wants blood.
Oh my gosh.
Do you want to die?
You're-
Call Sean Riley.
You're going to like when you have a special, you are going to personally email the link to all your exes, to anybody that ever was mean to you.
You have a Matt Rife
to
special.
to every booker that ghosted you.
I won't need to. They'll see it. They'll
Yeah.
see it.
Dude,
Bro.
it's so funny
No,
because I'm the same
I
way.
love
Like
this. I
there
love this.
are
Yeah.
literal like bookers or people who probably don't even remember me that I like go to bed every night and I'm like, one day you'll see, John. You'll see. Like, and it's so funny. Like, and it's
Yeah.
like they don't even fucking care. Or maybe they just didn't pick you for some random arbitrary reason. Like maybe they were just tired that day and they didn't really look at your tape and they're like, next.
Yeah.
Like,
That's,
you know,
that's
it's
the
like-
reality of most no's. Is it's
Yeah.
just like either you're aiming for something that you shouldn't have got. That's way like
Mhm.
you know, just eons away from.
Right.
But who's to say, dude?
Yeah.
But
That's
it's
the thing
all
with,
right.
like,
It's
you know-
it's all opinion, dude. It's all like. So then you go back. You're like, what even is competition then? Like, what
Yeah.
are we even doing? What are we trying for? So then I guess it goes back to like, you need to just try at what you like and what you think is important, because I think that at the end of the day, competition, perseverance, trying, anything you're doing, I think that people appreciate it and it resonates with people if it's authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And
yeah.
and like people can tell. There's a weird thing, and I'm curious what you guys think, because I think anyone who goes on stage, if you're a comedian or anything, if you're like a musician or anything, like every time that I've, you know, when I bomb, right? Sometimes you fucked up, right? Sometimes you messed up a line, or sometimes you didn't do this, or you're tired or whatever. But I feel like most of the time when I bomb, it's like when you say like, oh, I had an off night or I had an off, but it's like something about me is inauthentic in that moment. Does that make sense? Like, have you ever like been on stage and you're like, dude, I'm not being myself, and they can tell.
Yeah.
And that's why this isn't going well. And it's so weird because you're like, obviously these people don't know you, but yet as a human to human, you can tell if someone's like not being authentic.
Yeah, it's the feeling of bombing can, if you don't own it, if you don't lean into it, if you don't find a way to enjoy it, or at least enjoy the fact that like you're not going to let it affect you. If you have any sort of a human reaction to bombing, like we do 90% of the time, you start to lose trust in your material, your presence, and you start
Right.
to sort of, you do start to inauthentically change. Like you're the middle schooler at the cool kids table.
Right,
and
right,
you
right.
no longer feel like the thing you're into, they're into, or you want to say
Right.
the cool
Right,
thing, or you
right.
want to, like, you start changing how you talk or whatever. And yeah, there definitely is that. I mean, I even just at, it had been a couple weeks since I've been to a mic, and I went to one yesterday, and I just opened with like something that was supposed to play off of the last comic set, and I don't know if it was like a bad joke or if it was just because no one was paying attention, but like it just was a dud. And
Mhm.
it honestly, immediately, I was like, oh man, I was so ready to improvise something to get me in the flow of being myself,
Yeah.
and it bombed, and now I'm like, okay, do I just go into my material the regular
fuck
way,
you
or
guys.
do I need to fix this now? Like, you know, and so I, you know, even though I feel like, and we've all been on stage for a long time, but it's like that still happens even at
Yeah.
a low stakes open mic. I got
Right.
thrown out of my
Why?
bag.
Like, yeah. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's. I think it's expectations. You know, it's an
Definitely,
expectation that
definitely,
it'll go well.
definitely.
Mhm.
Every set I've ever done when like the person before me isn't doing well, and I'm like, wait till I fucking get up there, fucking bomb, bomb.
Oh my
All
gosh.
the time.
I remember one of the first, I mean, I had bombed plenty of times before this, but one of the like ones that really hurt was I was about a year in, and I was still in Orlando, and I felt like I'd picked up some momentum. I was getting some like really good
That's
spots.
when it happens.
I was like, sweet. I feel like my name is good in the scene right now.
Right.
And so I was at the big mic at the time, was a Monday night one, but people weren't doing well. And I remember I felt like I got the biggest compliment because the host was like, hey, I'm going to put you up early because we need somebody to lift the room. And I was like, he picked me,
all right,
the like
yeah.
veteran comics, like
Who,
you're gonna-
Isaac?
So I go up.
Silver bullet. That's what they called you.
Yeah, I bombed so badly. I started like speeding through my material because I was like, I'm supposed to bring up the room. So now I'm like autopiloting it. I did something where like I lifted up the mic stand and it broke,
Oh,
and it was
God.
like a disaster. But
Freddie
and
Mercury.
I remember I got off stage and I already felt bad, but I was like, but everybody was bombing. Maybe it just wasn't fixable. And then the next 4 comics killed. Like the guys that like I got bumped in front of killed.
Yeah, you reset the room.
And, like I left. I got a whole pizza. I went home. I got a whole pizza and like a canned cocktail of some sort. And I just literally like went home and ate the whole thing and watched a movie.
Oh,
It was
man.
like I hate this.
Bro, listen to me. I have had moments in my life where, you know, especially with you drive somewhere, you bomb your dick off, and then you drive home for 4 hours. And you're just like, oh my God. Like, how am I not going to drive this off the fucking road?
Yeah.
But it's so true. You're trying too hard, and then, like, they can tell.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I think that when you're feeling any type of way that's not like confidence or like love or anything like if you're feeling fear or worry or anxiety or whatever it is that will lead you to like a bomb.
Yeah.
And it's really not just stand up. Like, it's like, you know, I used to have a sales job, and so I would bomb a sales meeting because, you know, you're like, you know, you walk in your first sales meeting, you're like, oh my God, this is like the CFO, and the fucking like, who the fuck am I? I graduated college 6 months ago, and I'm in here fucking trying to sell them a printer. I mean, what the fuck? And like, and I just think it's like the inauthenticity people don't like, and I think that people can tell if you're trying really hard. Then they're like, you know, like I've been on stage and I can feel them being like, oh my God, he's trying so hard. Like, you know, or like, you know, when you, I guess to flip it, you know, when you ever like get oversold something by a sale and you're like, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
They use your name a bunch.
yeah.
They're like, Alex.
Sean.
Sean. Yeah, Alex, like, this is really, Salesforce is like everything, you know, it's really important, Alex, that you are able to kind of see the landscape, the whole landscape, Alex.
Here's
This
what
is
I
really
want to
important.
do. It's very interesting because everything from a career like sales to a career like comedy and everything in between, right?
A terrorist attack.
Right, a terrorist
planned.
attack, all of this stuff. And even something that isn't...
Is that what's in between a sales career and
It is.
comedy?
It kind of is.
terrorism?
Can I be honest?
It's a triangle.
Yeah, it is, because both of them, when you fail at comedy or sales, you become a terrorist. That is what happens, of open mics or of, you know, San Francisco. I don't know. But
South of Wall Street.
the South of Wall Street, which was a big misunderstanding. They were allowed. No.
There was a door.
Here is what I want to do, though. I think that everything from a job to even something that doesn't have metrics, like if you're a parent, right? If you're trying to raise your kid, you know, you don't want to really. We know all the kids that had helicopter parents. Don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. They
Right.
sold the best weed, right? Like,
Yeah.
hey. So, I'm curious where, when you're trying too hard, that inauthenticity, it ends up backfiring. So what I want to do now, we actually had our camera crew step into a meeting. It was a meeting that we had with a wedding planner. And we've been talking about trying hard and really going that extra mile and how sometimes it can backfire. Let's take a look at that now.
Hello. Nice to finally meet you.
You must be the Waters.
That's right.
I'm Alex.
Nice
Very
to
nice
meet
to meet
you.
you. And you must be Isaac. I'm just kidding, guys. Come on this way.
Thank you.
Yeah, built this place myself. 1976, we opened up. Dad was doing it for a while.
Okay.
Mom left him, which was odd. Wedding planner. It's all real, by the way. Harvard. Ever heard of it? Now, I know you're all set on the venue. Let's take a look here. Open bar. Room for me? Just kidding, I'm an alcoholic. Now, I see that we figured out everything. I guess the last question is entertainment for the night. What have we decided on?
You know, I think we just want to keep things simple, probably with a DJ. You know, I could maybe a band if it was in budget, but I don't know. We could get my niece to sing.
Yeah, she has a lovely singing voice.
Oh, she would love that. We would love that.
Niece.
Yeah.
You want your niece to sing?
Yeah, she's 8, sings beautifully.
Your 8-year-old niece?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I got a 2-year-old nephew. You want him to come? Can make balloon animals?
Is he available?
Listen, guys, you look like nice people. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, okay?
Okay.
People don't want to dance at a wedding.
I like dancing.
We met dancing at a wedding.
And we're all very proud. Here's a little secret I'm gonna let you two in on. God, let me tell you something. You two are lucky you have a wedding planner, okay? There's a lot of entertainment that you can have at a wedding. There's a tarot card reading, photo booths, maybe even magic.
Is this you?
Oh, is that? We only recommend the highest rated and most valuable performers here. I happen to make it into the stack, I guess.
Okay, so you just want to do magic at our wedding?
What I'm suggesting is a night that your guests won't soon forget. I mean, look at the state of the country right now, okay? People need something. People don't want music. They want mysticism, illusion, restoration, alteration, possibly destruction.
Who's going to be overseeing the wedding while you do magic?
Okay, look, man, look. I don't offer this to many people, okay? But I like you both. I like you both. I am willing to yell at anyone at the venue.
While you're doing the magic show?
I will yell at any guest, unbashfully.
Is this a third service you're offering?
Listen to me, I don't care if it's someone's mom. I'll yell at a mom, I'll yell at an old woman.
Don't yell at my mom.
Do people want this at their weddings?
People want entertainment.
Why would we want you yelling at our guests?
Because no one respects the sanctity of marriage anymore, okay? Nobody respects it. You think they're there to respect you? No, they're there because you have an open bar. They're there to disrespect you. Do you want to be disrespected on your night, huh? Does that make you feel like a man? I'm serious, man, okay? Everybody thinks they're above it. Everybody wants to laugh at you. It's not dumb, okay? Magic is not dumb. It's not stupid. It's not lame.
Nobody's saying it's lame.
That.
I just don't think it would make sense for our special day.
Look, I don't offer this to many people, okay?
I feel like you do. This doesn't even mention wedding planning on it.
Give me that!
And it says we work.
Give me that! Give me it! Now, I don't offer this to many people, but I will make anyone at the event disappear.
Like permanently?
I can make anybody disappear. I made a mom disappear once. Should have been the dad. I didn't care. I didn't care at all.
Why would we want someone to disappear from our wedding?
Well, maybe not today. What about 10 years from now? How about 10 years from now when your bitch mother-in-law is yelling at you about replacing the wood floors?
That's my mom.
How about when they ask you to make some room in the shed, huh? For something that's not your hobby? How about then?
What about me?
No.
All right, you know what? You people never get it. You people never, no one ever understands.
Okay, I think we're just gonna go.
I was
ahead.
talking to myself. We have a DJ on staff, by the way. He doesn't play requests. He laughs at requests, all right? Cotton Eye Joe, sit the fuck down. Macarena, take out a second mortgage on your house.
I don't expect to. Wait, do you just.
Listen, magic has always been here. Magic will always be here. Do you guys know what the top requested wedding song was in 2006? Fly Like a G6. You wanna know how many times it's requested today? Surprisingly a little bit, but not as much. Music is fleeting. You know what's not fleeting? Pulling a rabbit out of a fucking hat.
I don't think that's true.
What happens to the rabbit?
Listen to me. I will be there for you. Magic will be there for you. If you want a rabbit out of a hat, I'll do it. If you want doves flying out of my sleeves, I'll do it. If you want a woman cut in half, I'll do it. And if you want a bitch ex-mother-in-law to disappear, I will do it.
Look, we just wanted you to plan our wedding, but I think we should get out of here.
Wait, please, wait. Please don't give up on magic. It's always there. It always will be there. If you walk out that door, then you're picking the Macarena over Chris Angel.
Oh, I mean, we love Chris. Is Chris Angel available?
Yeah.
Let's get Chris Angel.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out. The fuck out. Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. Really emotional stuff there. You can really feel the desperation. I think that's the worst part of being a salesperson.
You know what I think is good about that salesman for the world? Is they say that a good marriage prep course is really supposed to make the couple take a hard look at whether or not they're supposed to get married. It's supposed to like actually challenge them to a degree where they're certain if they do choose to move forward. And I feel like if I met with a wedding planner like that, it would make me so disturbed by the world and distrusting of the wedding industry that I might rethink getting married. And I really do think that that is saving them in the end.
I feel like that's like the wedding industrial complex.
Yeah.
Like perpetuating
Eisenhower
itself.
warned us, dude.
Yeah.
Beware the wedding industrial complex.
He did.
Because who's telling you that a wedding class tests your marriage? The people selling you the fucking class.
Yeah,
That's
fair
so
enough.
fucking true. Dude, and I was...
It's bullshit.
Everybody does that, because I was just saying this. I'm looking for an apartment right now in New York City. I'm going to
Yeah.
murder everyone. I have
horrible.
never... I have lived in New York City and moved every fucking year that I've lived here, okay? And every fucking time I move, pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, every fucker, broker, asshole, piece of shit, fuckstick, dipshit,
Put them in a
idiot.
camp and set them on fire.
Right. Well, thank you, Sean. I took the words right out of my mouth. No, but it's so
All
funny
of them, not just the specific subsets.
Except
Every
for
one of them.
Except for my lovely broker Alina. But everyone else. No, but here's what I will say. Actually, the reason that I have a broker is because she was the only person who didn't fucking stand with me in a studio apartment and go, yeah, it's really crazy this year. I've never seen anything like it.
Oh yeah, they go, yeah, people are bidding on the rent. Fuck you. No one's bidding on the fucking rent.
And it's also just like, dude, can you like, I'm about to now walk into every open house or apartment I see and walk in, and the first thing I do is go up to the broker and go, I did shut up. Let me guess. It's crazy. You've never seen it like this. I should have brought my checkbook.
Yeah.
Shut up. Yeah, there's a lot of natural light. Thanks. You're done. Thank you. Thank God you were here to show me where the bathroom is in this one room.
It's a unique opportunity, Alex. That's
Yeah,
what you're
well,
not
it's a
seeing
unique
is how
opportunity.
unique of an opportunity it is for you.
And it's especially unique because I've never seen it like this. I mean, I have been selling homes here since before 9/11. It wasn't like this, okay? Before 9/11.
No, but it's really this. Like, look,
But he means 9/11 2018. He hasn't been here
Right.
that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, I've been a broker for like 2 or 3 months. I've never seen it like this.
But dude, that's what it is. And by the way, as if they weren't already beforehand, post-pandemic, they're letting anybody be a fucking broker, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I walk up, I did this fucking, I went to a place, I'll never forget this. I was in the Lower East Side, and this asshole walks up to me. He looks like one of my friends. I mean, this dude has like a beard, he didn't shave, and he's got sunglasses on. He walks up, he's like, yo. I obviously don't say anything because that's not how a broker talks.
Right.
That's not how someone who's about to get 15 to 20% of a yearly lease talks. Okay? If I'm going to give you 15% for unlocking a door that's already unlocked because everything sucks in this stupid city, say hi, how are you? Can you do that? This guy walked up and goes, yo. He goes, yo, you Alex? I go, yeah, you better not be Dale. You better not be. It was.
I mean, it's like is that really all they do, and they get 15% of the annual rent?
Insane, dude. They get 15% of the annual rent, and and I love how they act like they're helping. They act like you'd be lost without them.
Yeah.
Like, I love it when you go to places. They go, yeah. So I mean, like if there was a broker trying to sell this room, you'd walk in, and you go, yes, it's got an air conditioner up there. It's got a big window. Yeah, you fit. And I love when they try to tell you, they're like, you could put a bed there, you could put it this way. It's like, thanks. This sucks. I'm not happy, but I'll do it.
Look, I won't argue that we're in a world where too many people want to be musicians and comics and all this stuff. But what's really ruining the world is too many Brysons and Kylers getting their real estate.
Kyler. Listen, the problem is not us practicing unsustainable art in a dense urban setting. The problem is Kyler.
It's the Kylers.
It really is the Kylers, though. Because you know why else? The Kylers are the guys that I say my funniest joke, and they say some shit like 2 on the nose. And I go, hey, Kyler, you can shoot yourself in the brain in your apartment, okay? Because it's hard out right now.
Yeah, dude.
I swear.
Bro, I remember I was looking for an apartment with my girlfriend, and we go to this, like, 2-bed, but it's like 2 walk-in closets.
Yeah.
It's like a kitchenette and 2 walk-in closets, and the broker, his name was Brett.
Of course it was Brett.
Brett the broker.
No, it was Rheingold.
And we go in, and he shows us around, and he like tries to get us very excited about it. It's like $3,200 a month for like
so expensive.
He's like, 2 beds are very rare.
And you're like, it's not here. I can see it's not here either.
You're right about how rare they are.
This is a no bed.
And then he's like, someone, there obviously is a fee. He's like, obviously
there's a fee for this premium space.
And we just got, and he was lying to my face. He goes, we're really, this is a very competitive unit. And there's like gunshots as he's like saying it's a very competitive unit. And someone, someone was like, please, I'm sorry. He's like, and obviously someone has entered. They've already submitted their application.
Oh my God, they love it.
The fee was,
they love it.
They put a fee of 12%. So if you came over the top and you maybe bid on the rent by a little bit, and you came in at 15, with your back, what do you do again? And I'm like, oh, I'm a comedian. They're like, and then he was like, but what do your parents do? I'm like, oh, my parents, my mom was a nurse and she's retired. Okay, great.
Retired, great.
Right. We love
so
that.
So compounding is what you're saying.
Bro, they would charge you $2,600 to sleep in a coffin.
Yeah.
Dude, and it's so funny because so many of the New York,
it's a lot of digging to get in.
And it's near. Hey,
it's centrally
Skylight.
It's centrally located.
Skylight. No, but dude,
the neighbors are very quiet.
They're very quiet. Everybody minds their own business.
The neighbors are very quiet.
No, but dude, it's
never
so funny.
A peep from the neighbors.
Yeah,
never a peep because New York City's at the point now where so many rich people have gutted it for everything it's worth that the apartments that are left that are reasonably priced are so hodgepodge, you know what I mean? Like that, like I remember I went to like what you said, like where you're like, you walk into a place and you're like, hey man, why don't they just like knock down this wall and make this an actual 1-bedroom? Like instead of you pretending like, oh, it's 2 bedrooms.
Right,
like, no, it's just 2, it's like a room that you put a flex wall in. Like, and I always thought it was funny, like like there's no, like I checked out this place, like it's funny when the brokers are trying to find a way to make it make sense. And like I went to a place and it was a studio. So it was, a big room with the kitchen in it.
Right.
bathroom, separate bathroom room. And then there was just like like an alcove of a room. Like, I mean, it was literally like a 3x4 room. Like it was like you couldn't even put a bed in there. Like it was literally like an auxiliary it almost it looked like it for a rich person it would be like a walk-in closet.
Yeah.
Like, and it had a little closet in it and it had a window.
The
so
closet
he goes,
had a closet. Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
So he goes, so we walk in and so the room has a window and he goes, so this is the bedroom. And he goes, this is really cool because they list it as a studio, but you get an extra room. And I wanted to be like, dude, you couldn't get a full bed in here. I wanted to be like, are you insane? Like, I wanted to be like, dude, look, dude, there's no one else in here. It's you and me. I mean, seriously, like, you don't have to do it. Like I wanted to be like, what is wrong? Like, it's like insulting. Like, I literally walked out. Like, I was like, I'm okay. And I was like, look, obviously every broker thinks you're an asshole, but like I was like, I cannot believe you're about to try to fucking tell me that this is a bedroom. Like,
No,
it's
unlivable shitholes. It's just unlivable.
and I hate
shitholes.
it because I'm an artist. I'm an artist, and so I obviously hate AI and I hate artificial intelligence and things like that. But instances like this is when I'm like, bro, I'd much rather have an AI broker. I'd much rather have some stupid computer that could just be like,
That takes
here is
0%.
the rent. Yeah, that doesn't need to fucking buy food or impress some stupid female computer.
Yeah.
And be like, I fucking sold the house, I got a fucking commission.
It's such a fake job, dude.
It's such a fake job. But dude, that's the thing. There's like 6 jobs that aren't fake jobs anymore.
Name them.
I can't because there's probably not even 6. Like, what I'm trying to say is every job is just a like boss bitch, laptop girly Manhattan job now. And I think that's why, that's the, if we were all coal miners getting our LLCs.
There's
We
one.
don't have enough coal miners, masons,
Yes, dude.
blacksmiths,
No AI is going to do
carpenters.
that.
That's what it-
DoorDash drivers.
DoorDash drivers, guys.
Yeah.
Radio
Those are just going to be
hosts.
self-driving soon. That's going to be, it's going to be all self-driving drone AI stuff soon.
I know.
Self-driving,
Yeah.
the king of self-driving in San Fran, which is a great pivot because I want to now. Sean Reilly, actually, you may not know this, is our resident Bay Area expert.
Born and raised in the Bay.
Born and raised in the Bay.
Born
Bay
and
Area
raised.
boys!
Yay. Shout out to the Yay area.
Yeah,
Shout out to my dogs.
You can't spell raised without AI. It's right in the middle of it.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Raised.
Yeah.
Rayized.
Rayized. Should we... Hey, whoever takes that and gets a funding round of 50 million seed, fuck you. We came up with that
Trying
fucking
to
name.
raise money and you capitalize
Yeah,
the AI.
raise. We raise money with
You owe me
raise
15% like a broker.
Yeah.
Like a broker.
Because times are crazy right now. It's never been like
It's
this.
a crazy time.
Here's what I want to do because I went to San Francisco for the first time last September. I was in the 47th Annual International San Francisco Comedy Competition run by the esteemed John and Shane Fox.
Past winners include.
Past winners
Robin
include Robin Williams, R.I.P., Louis C.K., R.I.P., Roseanne, R.I.P., probably. I don't know. No, they, Dana Carvey, Alex Labuti.
Walter
No,
White.
I did not win. No, but I went to San Francisco last year for the first time ever. I was very excited. I was a little, I didn't know how to feel because I had never, something I'll always kick myself for is I never went to San Francisco prior to the pandemic. So I never got to experience San Francisco. This is my question to you.
Sure.
Because San Francisco and California have always been the La La Land, right? And they've always, San Francisco and Los Angeles have always had homeless problems, just like New York has always had homelessness issues. Obviously, they've increased as of late, blah, blah, blah. You people all know that. You people read! What I want to ask you is, I'm curious of your experience growing up in the Bay Area prior to the pandemic and what you felt coming back. Did it really change as much as people said? Has it always been kind of crazy? I feel like it's always been that place for different thinkers, for artists, for smart, brilliant people who are out there. You know, I think that's why things like Silicon Valley are there, because it's like brilliant people who are really abstract thinkers. So I'm curious, does that always breed that kind of behavior and those kind of policies, or how does it work?
I'm sorry. You couldn't be more wrong. You couldn't be more wrong, Alex. I really can't think of a more wrong way to describe the Silicon Valley.
Then please go ahead.
No, I mean, it's the Silicon Valley is a place where boomers got lucky. My parents were boomers that got lucky. They bought a home there in the 90s. And now they think that they're these real estate investors because they bought a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom home in near Cupertino, California.
Right.
And they think that they were co-founders of Apple.
Right, right. Like now they can sit back like we knew Cupertino back. I was saying Cupertino in the 80s.
And they're like, I would see Steve Jobs around town.
Shut up.
And they'd say shit like that, and it's like it's a lie. It's a big fucking lie, filled with narcissists that sell you things that don't exist yet.
Fuck yeah. That really is the fucking thing that irks me.
Nobody
makes nothing is actually made at Silicon Valley. It's all, I think the best way to look at it is literally whenever you buy an iPhone or anything and it says designed in Cupertino, assembled in China. It's like, that is the perfect way to capture that. Like,
yeah. And it's like, and yeah.
It's fake stuff. It's like fake work is being done.
It is. And it's like, in the corporate world, they call it, what do they call it?
Design, ideating.
Fuck, there's a word for it. Oh, fuck. Knowledge laborers. Knowledge workers.
Ew.
Have you heard of that term?
I have, but haven't thought about it.
It's arrogant term.
Yeah.
Knowledge workers.
No. That's not.
It's real, dude. Knowledge workers. They think that but what? Let's ask ourselves. Go ahead.
The only knowledge workers I support are the characters from Inside Out. That's it. They work very hard. They're in the they're doing the work, right? They're putting in the service. They're growing. They're
knowledge worker.
Yeah.
Jesus
and so
Christ.
It begs the question: if you bestow this title of knowledge worker upon yourself, what does that make everyone else that's not a knowledge worker?
A dumbass worker.
Yeah.
A retard worker.
Yeah.
A
retard worker.
Yeah.
A slave, a physical laborer.
Right. A drooling laborer.
Yeah. Right. And it's just no. I have nothing but contempt for that place.
I mean, same.
I have nothing but bad things to say about it, and
so you don't miss it at all.
Not for a moment, because it's just so. And I went to public school in the Silicon Valley, and here's how crazy it is. It's the most, people think New York's bad for keeping up with the Joneses.
Oh no,
dude, the Silicon Valley,
San Fran is like the home of that.
Where it's like, dude, people will they'll get IVF, the women will get IVF in the Silicon Valley, and they'll enroll their child in a private preschool, and then before they've even done IVF. Because there's a backlog. There's a 2-year backlog. Because that private preschool feeds into the private kindergarten. Feeds into the private elementary school.
Feeds into Stanford and UCLA and blah, blah, blah.
And that feeds into these buildings. And then in those buildings, you crash the economy. You have the privilege of crashing the economy.
Bro.
It's crazy.
Dude, that's crazy too, because it's like, it is funny because I always think of everyone who lives in that area as like a literal robot, as like AI.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's so funny for them to imagining a couple sitting down and they're like, we will conceive in 2 years via IVF. We will create a inquiry into the preschool. Like that's literally what they must do. Like they must, because it's how you see people, I've worked with people before who outside of work, they act like when you're at the bar with someone and they're like, and they'll be like, yeah, I'm aligned on that. And you're like, what? Whoa.
No, they can't turn it off.
Like, what are you saying, dude?
No,
this is normal world. This isn't.
Yeah, they're like, we're not on a Zoom call. You
right.
don't have to say we're aligned.
That's so crazy.
And that's circle back.
Right. You're like, no. We're just friends right now. It's not.
Yeah.
But it's interesting you said that, because that's kind of how I went to San Francisco. Obviously, I had so much in my head already from all the bullshit, around the pandemic and how they acted and blah, blah, blah. So I'll admit, I obviously went there, I think, with a little contemptness or a little smugness, let's see what the fuck's going on here, and it's funny because everywhere you go, places like San Francisco or New York or Boston or Chicago or LA, they have entered, you're there and you're like, oh, this has a specific feeling here that I can feel.
Right.
And San Francisco, I felt like it felt empty and hollow. I felt like it felt like a shell of a place, and not that has nothing to do with any of the COVID stuff or the whatever. I'm saying that, to your point, it felt like everything was like an idea. Like, I feel like all of San Francisco is an idea.
Yeah.
Like, everything is like, well, the concept is this. Like nobody has jobs. Everybody has an idea that has funding. And I'm like, what? I don't get it. Who's like making sandwiches and stuff? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like weird to me. And it felt like such a weird place. And and then on top of that, it's hilarious because you have Waymos driving around that don't know what they're doing. They stop in the middle of the road. They cause traffic accidents and jams.
No,
and
it's so funny. It's like cars that are empty on the road actively creating traffic.
And it's just like, I'm all for stuff. Like, I'm all for, I mean, I will say this, technology freaks me. I used to love technology. Now I don't really like it and it freaks me out. I think it's just become too invasive, but it's like, I am okay with the logic that I'm not going to stop it and whatever. So it's like, I get it. And I'm certainly not against optimizing our lives, but it feels like we're doing it for the sake of doing it. And we're doing it at the expense of like our way of life. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like everyone in Silicon Valley is like, we got to keep making AI because we gotta keep making. And it's like, well, hold on. Can we fucking wait and like figure out what we're doing?
That's fucking Skynet. Your time's up.
Holy shit.
Sorry, Alex.
Skynet just said, fuck you.
Yeah.
Our third camera just said, shut the fuck up, pussy.
But no, I think the reality of it is Silicon Valley, I think, used to make products that we wanted or that we didn't know. Steve Jobs would say, oh, the customer doesn't know what they want, so you have to deliver it to them, which there's some truth to that. Also very arrogant.
Yeah.
I know what you want. Shut the fuck up. I know what you don't know what you want. I know what you want, bitch.
Yeah.
But at least they used to make products like the iPhone, the iPod. But it's like, I think now with AI, or even with, it started with Facebook, is it's like, we stopped. What really ruined it is that we stopped being the customer.
Yeah.
Facebook, we're not the customer. We don't give them money. We are not the customer. The advertisers are the customers. We are the product. People have said this before. With AI, they've raised these companies have raised billions of dollars. And they can't, the CEOs and the boards of these AI companies, they cannot afford to not have it happen. It will not fail, because if it fails,
Too much is leverage.
they're too dug into it.
Right.
And they're going to jam it down our fucking throats.
Right. Like, they all bought cars and houses. So, like, this has to work.
Yeah.
This has to work.
They're poor. Their mansions they're gonna give the mansion back if the AI fails. And it's like, but we're not going to be the customer. It's going to be free to use. And then when China wins the World War III, we're going to get in internment camps based on how we use the AI.
And then we can go to China and be like, excuse me, Mr. China, we actually already have AI platforms set up, so we can integrate right into the social credit system. We prepared it.
Yeah. No, it's going to be, I'm kind of a conspiracy theorist, but I really think that's the way it went. Silicon Valley was cool for like 5 years when everyone was doing LSD and protesting Vietnam.
Right, and like,
and
they
then
were
a bunch
actually
of nerds moved there and ruined it.
just like everything else, man. Nerds
Well, and then
ruin
there was
everything.
like the rising of all the apes that happened there.
Right,
that
dude,
was,
when the apes rose up.
that was crazy.
That was insane.
Yeah.
Which we like never talk about.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure that San Francisco was then saved by Ant-Man and Shang-Chi. So
Right.
yeah, on separate occasions. But continue your revisionist history.
It was a misunderstanding.
Look, Ant-Man was a terrorist.
Listen, Ant-Man was a failed
was
comic,
not-
okay?
Yeah,
he was a copier salesman who was a failed comic.
Look, he didn't follow the Sokovia Accord, so he is an international terrorist.
he is.
He's
Listen,
jailed
according
for
to
it.
Interpol,
He's on house arrest for it.
there is a red alert out.
We
for
might
him.
butt heads. I hate Marvel. We might butt heads. Like, I don't hate you,
Yeah.
but that's one of my long. Speaking of haters,
Yeah.
Let's talk about it, because I'm going to be
but
honest.
I respect you though.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
And
Here's
I've
what I
seen-
will say.
Iron Man was great.
Here's what I'm
I
going to
loved
say.
Iron Man.
And again, again, it's not at this point in the journey
universe.
of the MCU. I don't have the strength to fight for it.
Here's what I will say. That I
You're like
think.
a Drake fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so weary. Just
So weary.
like back in the day, we were all on board together.
You didn't hear So Far Gone.
Yeah.
No, so here's what I will say, though, that I think you can agree with, that I think most people agree with. I don't have a problem with Marvel. I have a problem with Disney's MCU bullshit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and
Like,
and
like
again,
Spider-Man is cool. They're all cool. Like Iron Man, not that. I don't think you're lame or a loser, but I think that Disney has destroyed Marvel. Like Marvel now, I think is like, dude,
Okay.
enough. Like,
here's my thing, and then I would love to invite the hater, and then maybe we can go. I don't know. We can pivot to something more substantive, but
No, this is what people want to hear about.
yeah.
Fuck the debate.
Because as much as I do agree the Disney pushed out too much content that spoiled the brand for a while, you also have to give Disney credit for, like, Disney is who bought the MCU, like bought Marvel before the first Avengers movie, was the one that was funding and getting the resources.
Oh, really?
And also, like, took chances on having directors like the Russo brothers and Taika Waititi and some of these other, like, indie folks that created these classics. Like, everybody was afraid of Disney coming in and buying it because we were like, oh, we're so excited for this Avengers movie that might be grounded, that we want to be grounded, and then actually told a great story. And was
the first Avengers was sick.
Was this phenomenon that made billions of dollars, and then what they were able to do 23 films in. Again, after that, they got a little too high on supply. Well, it's more than that now.
Yo.
But 23 films in, I believe, was
After
Endgame.
the acquisition?
Good for them, man.
Well, from Iron Man to Endgame was either 22 or 23
Okay.
films. What they did there is a feat of box office and storytelling and fandom and lore and social experience that will never be replicated. Whether you loved all the films, and I loved most of them, but even if you didn't, it is something that will not ever be replicated. And as corny as it sounds, I am happy that I was alive in the right age to experience it. Post then, yes, it became especially COVID driven of we need content, we need to drive this, we need to lean into streaming and all
Which
these.
I also
and
get.
it
We were
just
talking about that
diluted.
earlier. Like, hey, what are you
Yeah.
not gonna like? I get it too, where it's like, look, if you're sitting in a fucking on the 50th floor of a midtown office and you're going, hey guys, we made $20 billion. Should we stop? Like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna fucking. And to be fair, you know what? I can say that I sufficiently did not fully appreciate the scope of what you're right. They made a lot of fucking movies. And as someone who just with these two talented fellas just tried to film something that's like going to be 2 minutes long and it was hard. Not hard, but you saw how many takes we took.
Yeah.
Now, can you imagine when they're like, okay, listen, this is like the Hulk smashing someone. It's got to look right.
I'm a big fan of ambition. Rarely does ambition that big pay off, and it did.
You can argue it did.
It did. Again, then they were like, we're going to be back in a year with all this stuff. And it was like, maybe you should have taken 4 years. But, yeah.
But that is,
That's
you
my
still
thing.
got to respect that. Dude,
Yeah.
it's like the Tom Cruise argument. Listen, he is a crazy person, but fucking A, man. I mean, he's making movies it's unbelievable. Like, his output is like insane.
And I do want to hear your thoughts, but to your Tom Cruise point, he's somebody that I think most people don't self-identify as a Tom Cruise fan. And then you look at the filmography and you're like, I like almost all of these movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're like,
Yeah. He did. What did he did? Like what? Mission Impossible.
Well, and he resurrected that franchise. Like that seemed to be a dead franchise, and then it became like full head of steam again. But I mean, everything from Risky Business and A Few Good Men and the first Top Gun and Vanilla Sky.
I gotta see more of Tom Cruise's filmography. I haven't seen a lot of
no,
them.
no, Tom Cruise is the boy.
Then
dude.
Minority Report and
He's had an insane career, dude.
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Like,
Bro.
Yeah.
Les he was incredible in that. Let me tell you something. And as Mr. Cruise, because I know you watch the show.
Yeah.
That
Mr. Last Samurai.
Yeah, Mr. Last Samurai. The biggest compliment I think you can give an actor is I watched it and did not realize it was him.
Oh, with
the
Les
first
Grossman?
time, yeah. Like the first time I watched it, I genuinely was like, "This guy's crazy." And then I saw at the end Tom Cruise, and I was like, "Who was?" And I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, I mean, he really he killed it.
Yeah.
No, but circling back to Marvel, I think it's
Yes.
a really, really well thought out, articulated take. And I would just retort
Yes,
by
please.
saying that, like, what was after Iron Man?
Iron Man 2.
Well, there was the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, and Captain America: The First Avenger.
Okay, I would say like after Iron Man, I was pleased.
Yeah.
And then after I saw, by the time I was at Captain America, what was it called? Captain America.
The First Avenger. Those were all the setup films for the First Avengers, like the actual Avengers film.
No, I was sufficiently spent.
So after the like 2 or 3 films after Iron Man, you guys know Aaron Bushnell? He
Wait, I was like, wait, why do
he self-immolated in front of the Israeli embassy to protest Palestine.
No, I didn't hear about that.
The genocide in Palestine.
Okay.
It was a suppressed story because I don't think people wanted him to become a figure for the movement.
Yeah.
And I don't think the media wants people self-immolating very often.
Yeah, it's way too funny.
I would self-immolate in front of the Marvel suit after the first Avengers. I was ready to self-immolate at 9:30 a.m. in front of the Marvel
first
studio.
Avengers was not self-immolate worthy.
It was an affront to cinema. It was an affront to cinema. It's not a product. It's not you know.
It's Silicon Valley.
It is. Scorsese said it best. It's not cinema. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I really wish, I wasn't this entitled. I wish I could just enjoy them.
He's from
the
Bay Area.
I'm not smarter than you. Like, people that hate Marvel like to have this thing where they point their nose up.
Right, like
and
cinema.
I like
Gangs of New York.
Yeah, I like Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Or and it's also like Scorsese made the same movie 12 times. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
never understood that.
So,
I love gangster movies, but like enough.
It's leave the cannoli, or that's Soprano, whatever. Or take the cannoli.
It doesn't matter. It's all of them.
I know. Or it's like my dad ran these streets for 20 years.
You'll
be next.
No, I'll tell you what it is. Every movie with an Italian main character is narrated. That's what it is. Every movie with an Italian main character has to be like, so I grew up. And my pops, he was never really around. And then it has to show the whole thing, because that's what Italians do.
Some jazz fusion.
Italians have to tell you the whole thing. Because, for example, have you ever worked in customer service and had an angry Italian customer? They're not going to be like, man, I'm on the app, it's not fucking working. They're going to go out and be like, man, they came out with these fucking stupid phones. Yeah, I grew up in the fucking 70s and 80s. You didn't have the fucking phones, okay? Now I got to go on the fucking phone. And you're like,
fucking call a guy and you get the fucking thing, and then you got to fucking phone.
And what can you say to him? You can say, sir, you can thank Silicon Valley for that.
You can.
And you really can, because I think that we've hit a point now where Silicon Valley and all the shit that we use is backwards. You know what I mean? It's like you have what is it? You have a device that's really amazing and it never works. And you troubleshoot it, and you do all this shit. You go to the Genius Bar. And then they just tell you, did you plug it in? Did you unplug it?
No, then they go, upsell you. They upsell you. They go, you can throw it out. Let's just throw it out and get the new thing. That's when you take something to Apple. That's what they do. They go, well, it's 3 months old. You can get a new one.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, I don't want to do that. And it's like, I'm back at the old school days. I'm hitting my fucking TV on the side of the fucking. Because I think that works. I think it works. And
kick
you know what?
TV, kick your radio, get it
percussive maintenance. And here's what I want to do now. We actually got some footage of percussive maintenance in the field. We wanted to go out, test it out, see if it worked.
Oh, wow.
We have our results. We're going to share them with you now.
The fuck?
It's not working?
Yeah, something's fucked up with it or something.
Here, let me see. Check it out. It's percussive maintenance. Gotta smash your shit, get it working again.
Huh. Percussive maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah, babe, that sounds great. I can't wait to see you too. I said I can't wait to see you too. Come on.
Phone fucked up?
Yeah, it just keeps freezing.
Do you mind?
Please.
This is so weird, man. I was just upstairs with my buddy. He was showing me how to
fix all these fucking electronics when they don't want to.
I appreciate the help.
Do you mind
man.
if I try something?
Yeah, please.
Cool, man. Thanks. Let me
Thank
just.
you.
Percussive maintenance, man. You gotta hit your shit to get it to work.
I don't have the cloud.
Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff.
I was moved.
I cried.
Yeah,
Sean
I
cried.
really felt for that guy whose phone was broken. He seemed
Yeah,
like a
who
pretty
was that
sympathetic
man?
figure. I don't know, but he
Handsome.
yeah, very bookable. I'm sure.
Very
Pretty
bookable,
castable.
very castable.
very
Commercials,
castable.
extra. I would say main roles. I mean, I would
Absolutely.
say main roles.
I mean, if he were in MCU, it might turn Sean's opinion
Right.
around.
Yeah, I mean, I might watch.
Yeah.
So guys, what
Absolutely.
did we learn from all this? What did we learn from the phone? What did we learn from Silicon Valley? What did we learn?
Trying is good.
I would argue the complete fucking opposite. I would argue that everything that happened from the current day today of
Yeah.
everyone glued and addicted to these stupid fucking phones all the way to us creating that little misunderstanding of the wall, okay? Of Wall Street. You know why Wall Street was created? You know why America was created? All right? You know why slavery happened and Native Americans were displaced? Because everyone was trying. So what do we say, folks? Stop trying, okay? Sit at home and be an asshole, okay? Because we're trying to do something with our stupid lives. And it would be a lot easier if everyone else just fucking stayed home. Please.
Just relax.
God, relax.
Don't get up. Don't get up.
Don't get
Yeah.
up. Let us have some fun.
Listen to podcasts and radio shows all day.
Yes, listen to my
That's
show.
what's good for you.
Folks, listen up. This was the Hot Dog Hour, episode 2. Trying. What is it? Why? I don't know. I have Isaac Knox here. Isaac, tell people where to find you.
Well, first and foremost, I think that trying is a good adjective for this episode. And you can find me online at I'm Isaac Knox and bouncing around New York when I'm not freestyling around the country.
Sean Reilly.
Fantastic. Sean Reilly Comedy on Instagram. I'm going to be headlining Raleigh, North Carolina, if you live there.
Raleigh!
And August. Well, this is only New York listeners, right?
No, it's everywhere.
Or it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's
Raleigh,
everywhere,
North Carolina.
Yeah.
Come on out.
Come on out.
SeanReillyComedy.com for tickets on Sunday, August 8th or something like that.
Yeah.
Fuck
It's a
yeah.
good club. Good
Heck
Night's
yeah.
Comedy Club.
Heck yeah.
Fuck yeah. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, you can find me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Phyui, Phyui. Don't ask me why that's the name. I don't fucking know, okay? Don't ask me. I'm creative. I'm not like you. I don't make my name first name, last name, and my birthday. Shut up. Go to alexlabuti.com. Read the stupid shit I write. Watch the Hot Dog Hour. Watch archive episodes on the website and on Patreon. We're about to have a rap battle that you're going to see in a bonus episode. We also talked to Akinator, okay? And Sean Reilly had a couple racist slips, but it's okay.
I did not.
Folks, listen, we really
I did.
appreciate you. Please share this with people you like and share it with people you hate as well.
Uh-huh.
And go to alexlabuti.com. Go to the YouTube. Do whatever the hell you want. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.